Hello, I am Dr. Beatrice Kramer and I'm the president and founder of Aging in Effect. I would like to talk briefly about a phenomenon that I keep observing and a question that is related to that and that family members keep asking. That is, family members seem to avoid having conversations that would be important to be had so that important decisions could be made. Important decisions as regards finances, regarding to an elderly and perhaps dying family member, and also medical decisions that need to be made in that process. Now, why is it that people keep avoiding have those conversations, even though they do know that they are important and that it is important to have them early on? Now, one answer seems to be obvious, and that is people are afraid of dying and are afraid of death, and that does relate to their own death and also to family members and friends. It also has to do with the helplessness that kind of goes along with that sense of dying and that fear of death, because that is the one thing that nobody can do anything about, and that comes with a certain sense of helplessness, and that sense nobody really likes because people like to take charge and they like to help and they like to support and they like to change things, and helplessness, that feeling of, does not really support that motivation. So that's the second big motivator for me, as I understand it, that people do not have those conversations that would be important to enable them to move forward. I would also like to apply Kuebler-Ross's five-stage model of grieving. The five stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. Denial is, no, that cannot be. I'm not dying. My father, my mother, whoever it may be, is not dying. That is not possible. I will not have that conversation, and if I don't talk about it, it's not real. The second phase is anger, and that is when one gets a little bit closer to understanding that there is something like this and it is happening in the family, but it is one is upset about it and does not really want to accept it. So therefore, the feeling of anger is coming up. The third one is bargaining, where it yet comes a little closer to the acceptance, but it's still way away from it. And one would bargain and say, well, okay, I accept it if if I can get this, or I would do this if you do this. So there is a certain kind of bargaining and negotiation going on in order for that person to be willing to accept death and everything that is involved in it. The fourth stage is depression, where it becomes much clearer that death is actually happening and that it is not avoidable, and that one would have to say goodbye and one would have to let go. And with that comes a certain kind of sadness and depression. Now, the last phase, the fifth phase, is acceptance, where one is at peace with the fact that one is dying and is finally able to peacefully and with dignity let go of one or of what keeps here. So depending on where each family member is within that model, of course you can imagine that having crucial conversations and making important decisions can be quite difficult, and that is one reason why we offer to facilitate those conversations. Because again, depending on where family members are in that process, they may not understand each other. They may not be able to see the other person's goals and meanings and significance and so on. So it is important that each person is understood and being heard. So that is why we offer to facilitate those conversations. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful day.